Just wanted to make a little video on this, doing this fender, because it's hard every Friday to think of something to tell you, something to do. I don't know what to tell you. But anyways, I'm going to fix this fender. It should be fixed by Friday, I hope. But this is like the sort of stuff, you know, some stuff you have to deal with sometimes. And I don't know how many people can repair that fender, how long it would take them, how they would do it. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sandblast it. And before I sandblast it, I will take something and scrape all that tar out of there. Because if you don't scrape that tar out of there, the sandblaster, it will chew up your sand. It won't peel it off. So you scrape all that stuff off first, and then go from sandblasting there. She's a ripe little fender, but I think I can save her. He wants it done for his car. Exact same car I did for the 39 Plymouth. The door that got welded up. He's trying to get her back on the road. Hopefully we'll put her back together. But that's a funny little curve in the back. You know what I'm saying? This is rotted off. We're obviously going to have to replace most of this. And I'm going to show you how I do it. Because you have to have it done in a quick amount of time. Because if you don't get it done in a quick amount of time, people don't want to pay you. I'm going to sandblast it. Alright, I got the fender sandblasted. Sandblast sand, you usually don't rip off fill with sandblast sand because it just takes too much sand. So you might as well just come out and grind it off, you know what I'm saying? Sandblast is for paint and primer and rust. So if you get into body fill, it will peel it off, but it takes a lot of sand. So anyways, I'm going to cut it off anyway because it's all rotten. I got pinholes up here, got some bronze there, I got some holes here, I got some holes here. So, I don't know, cut it all out I guess. So I'm probably got some pinholes here, so I'm probably going to go here somewhere, and we may as well make a straight line. There's no sense going like this and like that. I don't want that. I don't like that. We might as well, you know what I mean? I want a nice straight line or a nice. What we're trying to do is make a nice panel for the back of the fender. That's what we're trying to do, and I want a nice straight line for that. Anytime you make a panel for something, you might as well make that line nice and straight. You may as well. What the hell? And how I would start this, I've shown you what I'm doing there. So I'm going to do it like this. This is how I do it. And if I can do it, anybody can do it. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of tape here. Put some paper on there. With everything, that's it, actually, a nice little fucking line right there. I'll just use the paper, line of the paper. Perfect. God damn, that's too easy. Take that on there. Now, I can put this paper to this fender. When I put this paper on this fender, you can see that it wrinkles and all that stuff. A little metal there showing. All that's telling me is, if there's metal, if the paper's wrinkling, coming up here too much, is that there's too much metal there. So obviously I would have to, if I cut that patch, I would have to shrink that somehow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shrink the metal before I even cut it. So I'm going to make this paper fit tight on this fender. You know what I'm saying? If I make the paper fit tight on the fender, and then I take this patch, or take this piece of metal, or a piece of paper and transfer it onto a piece of metal, I will already have shrunk my metal because I've made the pattern out of paper. And as you can just see, I just shrunk that paper. Did I not? I folded it and I shrunk it. It's like some of these small cars around here. Like people say, you can't get in, you can't drive that. And, well, how do you drive that? And I said, well, I shrink. And they said, well, you can't do that. And I said, yes, I can. I just show you how I shrink. So anyways, I'm going over here to do the same thing. I'm going to make this piece of paper fit this. And then what I'm going to do is, I'm going to trace it with a pencil. I'll trace that line out. And I'll trace around here. I'll trace around the bottom. I sort of know what's going on. I see my piece down here. I'm going to have to add a piece of paper because it might be too long. But that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a pattern on a piece of paper. I'm going to shrink all of it and everything, make it fit tight. Trace it with a pencil. I'm going to transfer that onto a piece of metal. I might even cut my paper, cut this in half. I probably will, actually. I'll make this piece, and then I'll make this piece. And I'll butt weld it together, and then I'll use the bead roller and put it on the step roller, and I'll make my own body line all the way around. All right, I gotta get busy. Bye. Ready? Ready? So this is the pattern that I've made. I just taped it back on there. When I cut my metal, I cut it a little longer than the pattern because you always want to have a little more because you can cut it off. So that's the pattern. I shrunk it there and I put a piece of paper on there to finish it. So what I've done is I've taken this piece of paper. It's not square anymore. It's, you know, it's kind of off shape. And I put it on this piece of metal over here, 18 gauge. Just black iron, 19 gauge black iron. Put this tape on a straight edge right there. Trace that off, which I cut it out there. I bend it a little bit with my arms and my knees. Even put it through the wheel a little bit through here. The hard part with this patch is it goes round this way and it goes this way, long curve. So what I've done is I've rounded the most I could to fit. I noticed I couldn't get enough right here. That would take me too much time, you know. Yeah, not the way I would do it anyways. I would just split it and make it. So what happens is here, I've tacked it on, I've split it, I made this piece come down around, put a little roll in this with the English wheel first, I put a little wheel in this with the wheel first, I bring this piece down to fit, I bring this piece down, shrunk it a little bit more because there was a little excess metal because it run it like this, and I can't have it run it like this because this piece doesn't show that. You know, I can make it that way, but it wouldn't fit the car. So I made it run down this way. So I've got this and this, but I had to do this to do that, just to get it rolling. So what I'm gonna do is take the zip cut and I'll cut that back off, and then I'll do a good job of butt welding that together, just tap together real nice. Then I can see if I penetrate it real nice. Then I can come back over here, trace out my body line that I need. I need that body line all the way around. We can get that done on the bead roller, and I can come back in and I can trace this off, and then I know where to weld that on. I'm also going to make this piece on this side too. This piece has gone bad over here, and they've used some bronze over there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trace a new piece, and I'm going to weld a piece on this. I'll butt weld it right to that edge, make that fit perfectly. Then I'm going to, when I cut this all off, around the bottom, it has that little tiny wire in the edge of the fender. Well, I use round rod. I'm going to bend a piece of round rod. I'll make it fit that line all the way around, and I'll butt weld that all the way around. Grind it off nice and flush. It'll be stronger than that. Yeah, so that's what it looks like. Doesn't look pretty at first, but it is what it is. I don't use Glecos. I use self-tackers is what I use because they go in the hole and I can weld it back up. And then bad boys pull quick. I'm not interested in taking it off and on and off and on and off and on and off and on. Not a chance. All right, I'm going to take it off now, and I'm going to weld that up and do a good job on it, and then I'll put it back on. Like I said, I'll keep showing you. Bye. Alrighty, I ground off the weld. I didn't grind it all off because I didn't want to grind it all off. And I could have, but I didn't. So this is what I did. Put it back on with the self-tappers. I ground the weld off, cleaned it up. This side here was a bit flip-floppy because it was stretched because I tried to bring it down like this. I had a curve like this and a curve like this. When I got this piece made, I just took it into the shrinker stretcher and put the shrinker right on this edge. Nice round edge on that now. I shrunk all that edge because it was, it was stretched. This is how I got the body line on. I put the body line on, I drew it on with a pencil, and then I took a piece of tape and marked it on. Took this, took it over here. I had Sparkles help me, that's why we didn't film it, eh? she was doing on the wheel there. I got her to, you know, feed it through, and I watched the line. So now what I do is I take this tape off. I still have to do a little massaging yet. I still have to make this piece in here yet before I cut all that off. But I just want to show you how I put a self-tapper in here. Just show you what I got going on here. I don't do the off and on thing too many times, but just for the video. What that means. Alright, as you can see, look at that, huh? Nice straight line all the way across. I put a little pair of hands on that. Now the next step will be to take a piece of round rod, or get this cut off or weld on, whatever. But that's the piece. Kind of slipped with my little thing. I didn't do any polishing yet. I'm not going to polish it yet till I get it all welded up. I got to make this piece here. This piece here pulls down just like this. So I know you're looking at this piece here. It's pulled off. But it does flex a little bit. Let's put my trusty needle nose pliers in here. Pull this piece down. Everything goes right in shape. Huh? We got a little wee wonky there, I see. No, it's not in shape yet because it's on there right. There we go. That's the piece, that's that back fender. Now when I come in here, before I go to do anything, I can draw that line exactly where that fits, and I'll know exactly where to cut it off. And I'm not going to butt weld this on there. I'm going to lap weld it probably half. I'm going to leave a ½ inch on there. And the reason I'm going to do that, because I don't want to go on the back side and grind all this weld off. I want a nice little seam there. Seam seal it, done. There's nothing coming in. It goes this way, water's this way, water's going this way. It ain't going in there. Perfect. So I gotta make one more piece, get that welded on. There's the bottom of the fender. It's Friday and it's hot and the beer's good. I can tell you that. I've got this patch welded on. I welded the back side on, finished that. I want to show you that. This is butt welded. This is the seam. I sort of like the seam better than the butt weld. You know what I'm saying? But that's put on there. 9 hours. You figure it out. It's up to you. I did some work on the CUDA this week. I really like this CUDA is supposed to be done. I got a rubber stopping me. I can't find a rubber. I have a rubber missing, so I'm gonna have to get that. But that thing's looking hot. We got it really detailed, really nice. Everything's the right color. I really like that. Did some work on the gas pump this week. And my main thing is, I guess the most happy about Friday is I got my sign put up. Take a look at that, sexy. Show them the sign we put up. That's going dang it, eh? Tomorrow, there's going to be a cruise here from 4 o'clock from Windsor. Jeremy Cromwell has set up, and we're going to be here. There's going to be a bunch of people come here. If you want to get in on that cruise, go for it. Come here. I don't care. It's all good. We're going to be at Fraser Hood's Car Show Sunday with the Green Goblin. I want to meet Rocky Road Transport. I want to meet that guy. We'll see him in Windsor. Have a good Friday.